How's it going, everyone? My name, of course, is Crunchy. Welcome. So, I know, we're not going to talk about the video thing because, honestly, I kind of wanted to do a bit of a discussion for you guys. So, I was making lunch today, and I thought to myself about the whole horror movie versus horror game, and I went on kind of a mental thing about that. I was thinking about it, and I decided, what was one horror movie that breached both and was scary? Ladies and gentlemen, the Silent Hill series. Silent Hill was a series that kind of came back in the 90s. I don't know the exact date. Silent Hill 1 came out in the 90s and featured you playing as Henry. It did relatively well. It did pretty well, actually, and it was actually one of the scariest games for the PlayStation 1. With that being said, it is a great horror genre, no doubt in everyone's minds. But, and this is a big but, and I cannot lie, what was the downfall of the series? When was the point where it stopped being scary and started being dumb? Well, ladies and gentlemen, I have that answer for you. But for the sake of everyone's time, we're going to go over the whole series. Silent Hill 1 came out, did relatively well. Silent Hill 2 came out. Silent Hill 2 was the groundbreaker, and this is kind of a good thing and a bad thing. Because it was so groundbreaking, it was so good that everyone compares each game to that standard of that Silent Hill. Silent Hill 2 comes out, and it's the groundbreaker of the series. Everybody loves Silent Hill 2. So this is a good thing because it gave the series kind of a breath of fresh air, and it gave it a nice, rejuvenating, scary feel to it. But at the same time, it kind of crippled the series in the sense that now every game to come might have copied from Silent Hill 2 in many, many ways. But they didn't. They managed to keep their integrity up for 2 more games. So, Silent Hill 3 comes out. Silent Hill 3 is kind of more scary, more blatant with its scares. Silent Hill 2 was more subtle. Silent Hill 2 was fucked, and Silent Hill 3 was, even more so. But what is the interesting part is when Origins came out, although I don't hear a lot about Origins. Not a lot of people talk about it. It's like this own thing or whatever. But anyway, so we're left with 4 games. They're all very, very different in many ways. They all have their own worlds, their own creatures. Yeah, the nurses are kind of a mainstay, but they're different in a lot of ways. And then you have the audacity to release Homecoming. Son of... Okay, so this is a full rant mode. I know I said it was going to be a discussion, but this is full rant mode. Why in the world would you release Homecoming? Homecoming had nothing original. It really didn't do anything other than have a revamped story with new characters from Silent Hill 2. Oh, and the other world and every other creature was borrowed from the stupid movie that came out 1 year prior. Did the movie do so well that they feel like they had to copy the monsters? It didn't give anything. Each character has their own world. When they go to the other world, it's their own world. Why? Why did you copy from the movie? The movie wasn't all that great. It was okay. But it wasn't. You copied from the movie. And you changed one monster's name. You changed it. Okay, I'm sorry. I can't do the high voice. I know that sometimes I go in. I'm trying to speak more high because of personal stuff, but that's not the point. I want to talk about this, and it's kind of hard for me to fluctuate my voice. Why? You had all of the creative time in the world between the movie coming out and the year that Homecoming was released. Add a year on to that. Might as well. Why don't you, I don't know, take the time, I don't know, try to come up with something original. What was original about Homecoming? Nothing. The characters was original. Yeah, maybe. But it's too bad that the plot just... When you first play Homecoming, it's extremely, it's interesting. The first time you play it, you wonder what the character's story is and why. Now, what I mean by first time playing is not the first time that you've heard about it, you've seen gameplay, and then you play it. The first time you personally play it. I'm talking about when you take everything, you don't know anything about Silent Hill, and you play Homecoming. That is the only way that you will understand anything that is involved in. So not to say that Homecoming was a steaming pile of crap, because a lot of people like to say that Shattered Memories wasn't all that great, and Downpour was terrible, more terrible than Homecoming, because at least Homecoming was scary. It wasn't. It really wasn't. I watched, you see, a while ago, fun little story, a while ago, I watched a playthrough by two best friends of Silent Hill Homecoming, and then immediately Silent Hill Downpour, because I wanted to see what the difference was. I wanted to know what was different. Why did they compare them so much, and why did it matter? Because back then, I really, really liked Homecoming. Homecoming was my only introduction into the Silent Hill series. This was before PT came out, by the way. This was before then. So there wasn't spooks. There wasn't easily obtainable spooks for me to have with Silent Hill. It was just Homecoming. And admittedly, there are elements about Homecoming that are scary, quote unquote. Like, if you're going down a dark corridor and you hear the radio static, it is scary because you don't know what's on the other side of it. But all of the monsters were either really fucking stupid or copied from the movie. The movie! Boogeyman was Pyramid Head, just with the movie looks on him. He still dragged his stupid knife around. Bugs still appeared when he showed up. 2. You had the stupid nurses that were copied from the movie. 4 or 3. I'm getting confused. God dang it. 3. You have those stupid spider creatures. I'm pretty sure they were in the movie. Then you had those freaking smog things. The only things you were missing was Greychild. They replaced that with, like, I believe it's called, like, a Siam or something. But it's not the same. You don't understand. Oh, and Vagina Face. Can't forget about him. Just fucking lurking in the water. I believe he's called a lurker. But he's a stupid slitted face. I don't think he was in the movie. So, you have very few original bones when it comes to Homecoming. So the idea behind Homecoming is that you have to coordinate your weapons with each individual thing. But why is it like Ocarina of Time? Why do you go to one level, the other world's in hospital, not the first time, mind you, but the second time when you're chasing that doctor, you get a crowbar which you then use to kill the doll creature. Oh, and also there's the axe in the hotel, which you have to use to kill the tree creature. What the hell, game? Okay, so are you telling me that me going in my family house to find a remote control to the garage so I can get to the garage and get a pipe so I can pry through a gate which will lead me to get gas, which will start the machine, which will lead me to the graveyard and the junkyard? Fantastic. The game's levels are just undeniably fantastic. Not to mention that it's dark most of the time, which, it's just a Silent Hill game, Crunchy. It's supposed to be dark. Not this blatant. Like, I can tell that not a lot of effort was put into the world design because the amount of fog that exists within the world. Now, they did this for two reasons. One, it would give an ambience. And two, because their dumb asses couldn't design a world and they wanted to seem like it was open world, so you walking through the foggy town was supposed to be one of the scariest things about it. I would just like you to keep in mind that when you play it, you walk two streets. Two streets! It's blocked off. There's holes. For some reason, a hole just... I guess when you can't sacrifice your child for the sake of Silent Hill, the freaking crevice in the ground just appears. That's 12 miles deep and leaves to the core. Sad part is you think I'm joking, and anyone who hasn't played Homecoming is like, sacrificing children? Yeah. Throughout the game, you will run into 4 main people that you will talk to. Your parents, your character's parents, not your actual parents, but the parents of the game character, Mare. You also a judge and a doctor. Now the idea is these 4 people were originally from Silent Hill. They wanted to move from Silent Hill because who wouldn't? And they were told they could, as long as in each generation they pick one kid to kill and sacrifice so that they can continue to not have the world. So your character was chosen out of his generation to die. And when you go throughout the game, you'll find these like little elements. These like little tidbits of information. You will go to the judge and you will mention that her little sister's gone missing or whatever. You'll go to the mayor, you'll tell the mayor, I found your son's watch. Why is this there? Him and Josh played together all the time. So those 2 were already chosen for sacrificial reasons. The daughter of the doctor was chosen, and Alex was chosen. But because Alex didn't die, previous 3 children become a monster. Wait. What did... I remember now, the stupid multiple-handed creature. I get it. Silent Hill just gives me a headache, man. It gives me a headache. Because what started out as a decent series became immorally crippled by Homecoming's existence. Homecoming has nothing original about it. Downpour, I give it credit. At least it was original in some way. At least they didn't rehash any creatures that I remember. It's been like a year since I saw the playthrough. But Shattered Memories had an interesting look, I suppose. If you really wanted to call it that. I think it could have been something very, very good if the Wii wasn't broken beyond all belief. But that's just my opinion. So, at the end of the day, Silent Hill, as it stands, is not scary anymore. It could have been because of Silent Hills, but it's not. Anyway, I ranted on long enough. If you like what you saw, everybody, make sure you hit that like button. If you want to see more of this beautiful face, hit that subscribe button. Remember, we're all beautiful on the inside. So, anyway, if you enjoyed, remember, I'll see you